What's something people under 35 will probably never experience? Story 1. When everyone watched a TV show at the same time in their individual households and then came together to talk about it the next day. Pre-streaming services days. Commercials still sucked, but there was something magical about it. Reply 1. Commercial breaks were the signal to start a race to the bathroom or to get snacks from the kitchen. They were no fun with how they broke up the movie/show you were watching, but I kind of miss the urgency and challenge of it. Reply 2. The newer generation will also never know that annoying family member that always wanted to switch channels during the commercial break and thought they were the master of timing but always switched back too late. There's pros and cons. Reply 3. Series finales especially. Seinfeld, Sex and the City, and The Sopranos are the three that instantly come to mind. It was a different time back then. Story 2. Finding a magazine with something you love on it, a band or an actor or whatever. Now if you love something you can immediately consume every piece of media on that thing, which is also cool, but I'll always miss turning the corner at the grocery store and seeing that Spin is doing an all-punk issue. Or the Rolling Stone issue after Hunter Thompson died, and being like, F yes. Edited to add, and the smell. The ink plus the paper and the perfume samples. Incredible. Reply 1. Oh look, there's always stuff about Popular Band, and other Popular Band, but now there's finally something regarding Popular Band I like. Wow. And then you bought that something. Story 3. Being able to be unreachable. It's hard to really get alone time or time to relax when you have a phone in you all the time and you can always be reached. Reply 1. Yes, and along with this, if you say you're going to meet someone somewhere, you can't bail at the last minute. Like if you make a commitment, you gotta stick with it because the other person wouldn't be able to be reached to cancel. Reply 2. I rewatched Seinfeld during the pandemic and someone online had mentioned how 90% of the situations in that show would have been avoidable if everyone had cell phones. Story 4. Living my coyote ugly dream. Dancing on bars thinking I'm hot crap, but likely being an absolute embarrassment to myself, and there being no video evidence of it. Story 5. Internet being a brief thing you did, not a thing weaved constantly in your life. Going on M and chatting with friends felt like actual chats, and brief for 30 minutes. You'd hang out in real life, the internet was just like watching TV. It was just something small and neat. Everything is so digital now. I have a friend who has kids, and they like hang out online. When we were in middle school and high school, we'd hang out in real life and only talk online as like a separate thing. It's probably how people in the 70s and 80s chatted on the phone later in the day with friends. Story 6. Lack of knowing what's going on. The 24/7 news cycle is one of the worst things to happen to our society. Why do I need to know about a murder in Texas when I live on the East Coast? Constantly being hit with terrible, horrific news. 24/7. It's just killing everyone's mental health. Reply 1. Even local news will do this. I feel bad for the victims, but give me a segment about the teacher/librarian, garbage man of the day. I'd rather hear about unsung heroes in my area. Show some positive news, please. Story 7. Spending all day outside with my siblings until mom hollered for us to come in for dinner. I don't think I would be comfortable leaving my child for a full day outside with no supervision. Story 8. Life before 9/11. The world was still far from perfect then, but I felt that the innocence of my childhood died that day, and the reality that the world is a dangerous and unpredictable place really started to sink in. I feel like we've been in a downward spiral ever since. Reply 1. Yep. The optimism that carried over from the 90s went right down the drain. The entire world changed. Reply 2. That first sentence is extremely accurate. Stuff from the 80s could be felt in the early 90s, including music, style, and overall attitude. After 9/11, it was all fear. Reply 3. Same. I was 12, so I was right at that age where I was kind of starting to learn that lesson anyway. And then I learned it way faster than I was ready for. Story 9. My parents had absolutely no idea where I was. Outside of school anyway. They had no way to contact or track me. I would just roam around the countryside playing with friends. Don't get a girl pregnant, no fights, and don't die. I try my damnedest to let my daughters live like this. Edit. The numbers of DMs I got congratulating my girls for not getting anyone pregnant roll on floor laughing. Story 10. Wake up early on weekends to watch cartoons and record some of them. Transformers, Denver, The Last Dinosaur, Tom Sawyer, and many others. Edit. I'm amazed and happy by how many people remember Denver. Now I had to add the music to my playlist. Thank you. Story 11. Doing research with strictly books, newspapers, etc. I loved having a ton all opened up in handwritten notes. Spending hours at the library. Story 12. Flashlight tag. I loved looking forward to summer nights with the neighborhood kids running and hiding in the dark. Now, if someone sees some teenagers running around at night, it's a guaranteed 911 call. Reply 1. Flashlight tag and ghost in the graveyard were summer night staples. Now it's all HOAs and uppity NIMBYs with their Ring cameras yelling at kids to get off their lawns and slash or calling the cops. Ugh. Story 13. Y'all remember all-night skates? We'd literally spend 12 hours straight in rollerblades. Everyone used to do a lot more physical activities that were social in nature. Story 14. I miss everyone watching the same thing at the same time, so you could talk about it the next day. We'll never have TV shows with huge ratings where everyone tunes into the finale of MASH at the same time again. Story 15. The arcade. Putting 2 quarters on the glass indicating you've got next. Watching this one dude beat Mortal Kombat 2 on just 2 quarters. Story 16. The spontaneous joking that happens when a group of friends sit around without cell phones to distract them. Story 17. Getting up at 8 a.m. during summer vacation, grab a Pop-Tart, and leave the house for an adventure with any of the other neighborhood kids. Up to elbows in muddy water, catching crayfish and frogs, building forts in the woods. When we were hungry, someone's mom would make sandwiches and then off we go, play baseball in an unbuilt lot. Come home when the streetlights start to come on. No cell phones, most advanced technology people had were cassette answering machines. The rest of us had a pencil and paper next to the phone to leave a message who called. Reply 1. What we didn't know is that in the background, there was a mom's network that would phone each other. Yeah, I saw your son about an hour ago. Gave him a sandwich. He's around somewhere. Story 18. When I was a kid, I just walked to my friends' houses and knocked on the door and said, "Can so-and-so come out to play?" And they would. Story 19. Newspapers, especially, I confess, reading the comics. It was how I started every morning. Also loved getting the big Sunday edition and spending all morning reading it. Story 20. The thrill of picking up the home phone and it's your crush calling you. And the disappointment of picking up and it's Aunt Beatrice asking for your mom instead. Caller ID has ruined that.
Thanks for watching until the end. If you have a similar story to these that you want to share with us, please leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and subscribe. For more videos like this one right now, please stop by our channel. Thanks again, and see you next time.